Welcome to this very personal, very unique webinar, industry leader webinar with me, Omar Briones, yours truly. And today I'm going to share exactly what are the biggest mistakes that I've made in my business that have caused me to lose a lot of money, a lot of my time that I'm never going to get back. And I'm still suffering the consequences from some of these. And also my best advice for you so they don't happen to you. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who are in business, you have gone through challenges yourself. You've made mistakes. And honestly, what I'm going to share with you today, these are like just the tip of the iceberg, the ones that I was able to come up with in the last couple of days, just brainstorming. And I'm sure that there are literally millions of other mistakes I've made in my life and my business. That's kind of the way that it is as an entrepreneur. So anyway, point being, what I'm going to share with you is these are things that happened to me, okay, in my business. I'm also going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, a little bit behind the scenes background of what happens in my business, Infopreneur agency, and just kind of share with you, what happened to me. But just keep in mind, these may not apply to you depending on the business you're in. However, I do strongly believe that you will get some value out of this. Those of you who are watching right now, I'm very, very sure you're going to learn some things that can really save you from potentially millions of dollars in lost revenue and potentially, wasted time that you'll never get back. All right, so I'm going to get started, you guys. And just a heads up, I've said this off the record, but I'm going to say it on the recording as well. The things that I'm going to share with you, I've never shared with, some of these I've never shared with anyone. About 70 to 80% of these mistakes I've never shared with anyone. And they are very personal and very intimate and I'm going to be very vulnerable today with you over the next hour. And so I just ask, the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want them to happen to you. And, I might get a little emotional. I'm not sure. We'll see. But again, this is just for you to learn from, and that's basically it. There's nothing to buy, nothing else. So anyway, let's get started. So I've broken it down into 3 things. I'm going to share my screen. So I have 3 things that I want to be covering on this webinar, and 3 sections of my business, I guess you could say, or the mistakes. One is running the business. All right, I'm going to share some things about what I've gone through to and running my business, that the mistakes I've made and things I don't recommend anyone doing. And then I'm also going to share some things that I regret about giving up, some things that I have given up on that I wish I wouldn't have, and the other thing is losing money, how I've lost so much money. And yeah, so these are the 3 things. And so we'll get started. So I'm going to start with first one here. Let me just jump in. There are a ton of mistakes here, a lot of things I wrote down. I'm trying to go through them as efficiently as possible. And if you have any questions, by the way, those of you who are on the live call right now, go ahead and put it in the chat box. I will get to them at the end. Okay, so here we go. This is it. Here we go. All right, so number 1, disregarding my own personal brand, i.e. the blog, Facebook page, your personal YouTube channel, etc. I had, before Infopreneur Agency, I was a business coach, a marketing consultant, and I did very, very well. I was really, really doing well. I was coaching about maybe 200 to 300 clients a year. A total of over 1,000 clients. I don't know the actual number. It was like 1,200 something, and that was before Infopreneur Agency. So that's kind of how I got into this whole thing. And I had a really great brand I was building. I have a personal blog, omarbriones.com, a YouTube channel, which I don't even have access to anymore. They're kind of, I lost access to it. They don't want to give me access to it anymore. Anyway, point being, and my Facebook page has basically 50 fans on it, nothing on there, right? So I kind of disregarded it when I started Infopreneur Agency because we wanted to build a brand. I wanted to build this agency with my partners, and there was started with 2 partners, went to 3, grew up to about 6 partners in total. And we were all branding ourselves as, Omar or Chris or Rylan or Dagmar from Infopreneur Agency. We always said that when we made videos and all that. So anyway, what happened was later on they left. I'll explain that in a moment, but later on in the webinar. But it ended up with just me. And for the last year, it's just been me all alone in this company as the sole owner of it. And so I just kept branding myself and branding the business, but not branding myself. I used to have a blog with content on it. I used to write content a lot, had followers, subscribers, clients that knew me personally. And after switching to Infopreneur Agency alone and disregarding the brand, my own personal brand, I pretty much lost that old business. I lost my old clients. I lost the other stuff I was doing, my credibility from the previous, career. So anyway, here's an example of what that means is when I send out an email, I started getting unsubscribed because people were seeing Infopreneur Agency, like, what is this? They didn't really understand what that was. And my theory I have, Infopreneur Agency, the word agency kind of puts people off a bit because people think maybe they think it's something that, that I'm trying to sell them something. It's like a company. So, people, remember this, you guys, people do business with people, not companies, all right? Take it from me, personal experience. You've probably heard it a million times. The truth is, it's very true. People do business with people, not companies, all right? So the only clients we've ever gotten in our company have been clients that have stuck with me from the past and people that I have personally networked with in an actual event in person, all right? Personal relationships and referrals from partners that I've had from the past. So anyway, if I would have kept on building my personal brand today, never stopped, I would have definitely had a lot more engagement, a lot more people coming onto these webinars, a lot more subscribers, a lot more, just clients, everything, a lot greater things, right? So my advice to you guys is, if you're going to start a business, or you're starting a business already, you're going to start a brand, don't disregard your personal brand. No matter what, your personal brand is everything to you, okay? You're always going to be there no matter what. If your company goes down, or if you choose to try it, or you choose to pursue another business, you're still there. And, your followers are going to follow you wherever you go, right? The other thing about this, by the way, this one's probably one of the biggest mistakes, so I'm going to spend a little bit extra time on this one. The other thing about this is, with my personal brand, I care a lot about a lot of different things. I care about the environment. I care about the future of the world. I love innovation and inventing things. I'm a straight up geek with innovation. I love tech stuff. I love software. Software is just, awesome to me. And so those are all the things I really love. And infopreneurship, it's just kind of been something I've done as like a side hustle, or not really a side hustle. It's really like just something that I've been always really good at and just really interested in. I love marketing. I love communication. So, sales funnels and copywriting, all that kind of comes into play in business, entrepreneurship. I do love that stuff. But, because I disregarded my personal brand, which was all about innovation and changing the world and, changing lives, it's now it's like people don't recognize me as that anymore, So I need to kind of rekindle that brand, which is what I'm doing right now, actually. So anyway, that is mistake number 1. And there are dozens, probably about 24 mistakes here, I think. So let's move on to the next one. All right. Next, promising webinar every 2 weeks. So, by the way, don't mistake my chuckles for good stuff. This is really just me kind of laughing at myself. I can laugh at it now. And honestly, this is very costly. This was extremely costly for me. So what happened was last year, a year from at this moment, and let's just say 2017, those of you watching the recording, we started to experiment with webinars. We were just an agency, just providing services, and we were making money. We were doing well, and we decided to kind of experiment with doing like a webinar, one webinar, and then we actually sold. I sold some people on our membership, which wasn't even launched yet. So we got just a few people in the membership that was not even launched, and then we ended up having to refund them because we never ended up launching it to the point where we wanted it to be. So anyway, that was like, you know, about 2 years ago. And then we did another one with someone, I'm not going to mention their name, but we sold quite a bit. And I'm going to bring this up in another mistake that we made, but we sold quite a bit. We made some money. Again, we had to refund the money for another reason. I'll tell you in a moment. Then we did it again a few months later, and that time we made I think it was like $900 profit. So, you know, 1 hour of work, maybe 2 hour max, you know, that was, you know, we didn't even do the webinar ourselves. It was run by someone else. $900 in our pocket. You know, we started to see this is worth it. You know, people like these webinars. So later on, I just started to just say, you know what, I'm going to make this, I'm going to restructure everything. We're going to have webinars with masterminds, do all kinds of cool stuff. And I want to make these webinars and put them in in a membership site. So it's creating content while we're going. That was a good idea. Okay. That's good. The bad idea was I asked people, how often do you want to have these webinars? Is it every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or every 4 weeks? And most people said every 2 weeks. All right. And I did a survey with about 120 people who participated, and I don't remember, but it was a pretty big number. Like 70% of the people said 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, well, if they're saying 2 weeks, I think I can do that, and I can also, you know, kind of count on these people for coming to the webinars because they responded to the survey, so they want to be here every 2 weeks, right? Little did I know, you know, that never happened. A lot of them never even showed up. I had to use other sources to get people on. But anyway, the point here is what happened is having a webinar, by the way, you guys, if you didn't know, it takes a lot of work, right? Just setting it up, just setting up the funnel, writing the copy for the funnel, you know, the landing page, the thank you page, the email follow-up sequences, the emails that promote the webinar, the description for the Facebook group, which was a little bonus thing that I did. Didn't have to do that. So it takes a lot of work, you know. And then, of course, coordinating with the partners, coordinating with the trainers, the people who are going to do the webinars. It takes a lot of work, honestly. And I'm going to bring that up again. It's another mistake, you know, and I'll bring up later on. But basically, and then the other thing is every 2 weeks, it's like I have 1 week to prepare for the webinar. And then, you know, and it's not just me too. I have to coordinate with my team. You know, there's no way I could do this on my own. I had to, you know, have my team, you know, people, developers and all that, setting everything up. And I was basically the only one who was getting the copy, kind of writing the copy because I'm a copywriter and I love doing it. So that, you know, every week I had to prepare a whole new funnel and then a whole new promotional campaign. And so and the other thing is, you know, it takes a lot of time, effort, blah, 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 my side. But the other thing is sending it to people and getting the subscribers when they see, hey, we have another webinar coming up, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's coming up this 2 weeks, you know, it's coming up. Get ready to learn about this and that, you know, from this expert, you know. It's like I'm promoting something every 2 weeks. And people, I really believe in my heart, this is just a theory, that people get sick of that. And not everyone, but some people do. And I've been getting unsubscribes every single day, you guys. Every single time I send out an email, I've been getting unsubscribes, like tons of them. And it just hurts, you know, because I built those lists from like really hard work, you know, marketing, spending money and time. So, and then, you know, like falling behind now. Anyway, let's get I'm going to move forward, you guys, because there's still so much to explain here. yeah, we'll come back to that. You'll see. All right. So I'm going to, oops, wrong. I don't know what happened there. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. Just some. Okay. Promising a mastermind every week with no deadline. All right. The same kind of thing. I love the masterminds. I love it. You know, I'll do this no matter what. All right. So this is never going to end as long as I say until it ends. However, this is the key word here, you guys, with no deadline. The biggest mistake ever, one of the biggest mistakes. Whenever you do something like a series of webinars, a podcast, any kind of events or coaching calls, etc., always put a deadline, right? Always say for a year, 6 months, or 3 months, you know, etc. Never say, you know, forever. This is every week, and never say a deadline. Always put a deadline, right? Because now what happens? No matter what, I have to keep my word. If I want to, because to me, I really value my integrity, keeping my word, etc. That's, you know, really important to me. So when I say, you know, every week, I mean every week. You know, there's no excuses unless there's like really a big emergency. So because of that, I'm kind of like stuck in the loop, like a little bit of a never-ending, you know, thing. However, I do want to say that with this said, that doesn't mean that I can't take a vacation or I can't put it on pause because no one's paying for it, okay? It's totally free as of right now, making this recording. We've been doing these for free. So anyway, I can say, and this goes for you guys too, this is my advice, you know, if you ever do make this mistake, you can fix it and you can just say, hey guys, it's been great doing these masterminds or whatever it is, coaching calls. But I'm going to have to take a break. We're going to have to put it on hold for the next XYZ weeks, years, months, whatever. And, or you can say, hey, it's been great. We're only going to do another month and I'm not sure if we're going to continue, blah, blah, blah. You know, tell them your story, be honest, you know, they will appreciate that. All right. Some people even could argue that they don't even care, you know. Just FYI. So I do see some questions coming in or some things in the chat box. Yeah, and I'll get to Tim. We're gonna get to all the questions at the end. All right. So thanks for sharing. Keep posting your questions. Good question. All right. Next thing, guaranteeing results to clients. All right. So this kind of goes hand in hand with something that is coming up. Another mistake that I have written with guaranteeing results. What we did is we had a program where through one of our partners, they guaranteed results. All right, meaning they guaranteed that our clients would get a return on investment, or you know, something, you know, return on investment. Actually, that is what literally they guaranteed. And not only I found out later that was illegal. Like that's actually, you're not allowed by the SEC or FTC, one of those. They don't allow you to say you guarantee them to make money, right? I didn't know that. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I'm gonna be totally straightforward with you. This is like part of behind the scenes stuff. I almost don't even want to record this, but whatever. It's already being recorded, letting it out. So this guy, you know, they promised that all it took was a down payment, and I'm not gonna say the amount, and then a percentage of the revenue generated from the sales. So they were going to do a launch. They were going to set up the whole launch, do everything, you know, the funnel, the marketing campaign, etc. All it took was a down payment and a small percent of the revenue, okay? And then what we did was we kind of, what's called arbitrage. We negotiated even lower ticket, and then we kind of charge a little higher ticket for that, a higher down payment, because they're getting access to us. They get consulting from me and my partners, and we charge a higher percentage as well. So we were going to make money, and it's guaranteed, because if it doesn't work out, we can get the refund from them, or you know, whatever. However, it didn't turn out well. We just weren't, the service provider, the vendor, wasn't able to deliver, and what's even worse, they weren't even able to give the refund, and then we had to give our own money out of refund. And anyway, point is, you guys just don't even bother guaranteeing results. At least this is my opinion. Again, this is, if you take it or leave it, it's my opinion. We're never going to guarantee, I'll tell you this, we will never guarantee results as a return on investment again, ever. Because people are expecting that. And there are some other reasons. Let me see if this is in my notes. I'm just going to say it right here. So another reason why we don't want to do that is because we're setting the expectations of the client way too high. And usually they don't really, they think they can just get away with, kind of not really putting in as much work as they are supposed to, which was in the contract, the agreement, So anyway, that kind of ruined some things for us, and we totally regret that. Next, accepting any type of client and affiliate. All right. You guys, if you guys accept any kind of client or affiliate yourself, you are totally messing up. All right. So when we first started, we were just kind of desperate. We had no clients, no nothing. We wanted to get some people, so we all started calling everyone and just promoting it like crazy, and trying to get anyone to sign up with our to be a client or an affiliate. And what happened is, we just got the wrong people. We just started working with the wrong people. There is a real something to do. I mean, there is a real kind of behind the scene, like a little subliminal. What is the word I'm thinking about? It's like underground, under the surface, magical energy that exists between people, and call it astrology, or numerology, or call it rapport, personality types, right? The truth is, there is something going on. I don't know what exactly, but I believe it has to do with just the way we were raised, and it could maybe have something to do with astrology. I don't know. It's been hard for me to disprove this astrology. I'm not getting into that. But anyway, so point is, personality types are really important when you are working in business. They can be a great client, pass all the tests, fill out the questionnaire, really great. They have a great track record. That they have a successful mindset. They're not going to quit on you. They're not going to give up. At least on the surface, you see that. And you talk to them, you feel good about them and everything. But then later on, you might find out that actually, when you start working with them, it's a different story. And it's just really, it is really tough to figure out who's the best and who's not to work with. However, just do your best to filter out the ones who are not committed, who are not serious. And one thing I learned, by the way, there's a little secret, is one thing that I do now is, I find out about what they did before and ask them. So if it's a client, I'll ask about, so like, what have you tried before? What are your biggest challenges, your biggest problems you're facing? And how have you tried to fix them before? And depending on the answer, you'll see whether they are blaming someone else. Oh, I hired this coach and paid, whatever, $10,000 and never got a penny out of it. I mean, if you hear that, that should be a red flag, you guys. So, not saying it's definite, but it's a possibility that might be something. It might not be their fault. It might not be the coach's fault, but it might be that they just didn't really follow through, or they're just that type of person that blames other people for their failure, however, if you hear them saying things that, we did this, we did that, we kept trying different things, it just didn't work. And then I found you, and I'm hoping, I'm determined to get this challenge, fixed. And I believe you can be the best, man for the job, or, lady for the job. That's a good sign, right? That means that they're determined. they're not going to give up. They've tried different things. They're not quitting. So those are good signs, right? These are just some little tips here and there. You can read a lot. You can read a lot more about this and learn more about, hiring the right people, hiring the right clients, filtering them out, etc. And same with affiliates. If an affiliate is an underground affiliate who uses underground tactics, but not in a super bad way, but let's just say gray hats, all right, or even a little bit black hat, kind of bending the rules to get leads and all that, or representing your brand, you got to be careful with that. Really, really careful, because it's your brand. That's it's at the mercy of them. So you want to make sure your affiliates are more of ambassadors, and they are people that really you can really vet on, just like hiring a client or an employee, or trusting someone with your business. It's the same thing with clients, affiliates, partners, employees, everyone. All right, moving on, you guys. Next on the list is depending on partners / employees to stick with me forever. All right, I really did think that we would be forever, at least for a long time. The partners that I started with, JV partners, affiliates, clients, not really. I know that clients, once they're done, they might go on somewhere else. That's fine. But anyway, I was really attached to my employees and my team. And, for me, it's like, because it's my business, it's like I care a lot about it. It's like my baby. I want it to grow, and I love it so much. But it's not that way for everyone, okay? Believe it or not, you guys, however convinced you are that your employees and your partners are going to stick with you forever, like, I'm just going to tell you, 99% chance, there's a 99.9% chance that that's not the case, all right? And that just goes for everything, all right? Probably even in personal relationships as well. Like, you just can't really 100% depend on it, all right? The keyword depend, all right? So I'm going to underline this. Depending on them is different than like hoping or kind of having the intention for that, okay? Give me a moment real quick, hold on. Sorry about that. So, yeah, so what I was saying is, you want to really, have the intention of them being with you, but don't be attached to that, okay? Don't rely on like your whole business and everything to run on that, right? Or, that they're going to stay with you. So, okay, I'm going to go with the next one here. I was just thinking about the order I'm writing these. All right, so I'm going to put in the next one here. That is depending on partners / employees to follow through with their word and on time, right? What I mean is, it's likewise as the previous bullet here. Depending on your partners and your employees and affiliates, everyone, to follow through with their word on time. To me, my experience has never worked. Never in the history of my entire career. Seriously. I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 7, right? I'm 29 right now, so over 20 years. And when I say entrepreneur, I really mean it. I had employees, I had, products I was buying and selling, whether it was candy, Pokemon cards, skateboards, or, internet marketing stuff. I was always an entrepreneur, right? And throughout my whole entire life, it's never, like, I've never been able to have 100% peace of mind that I know for 100% fact that these guys are going to follow through with whatever it is on time, right? It's possible that maybe there's some kind of mental block in my head doing that. Who knows? But I just honestly, and after Infopreneur Agency, you would think I would learn my lesson, right? But after, Infopreneur Agency, I still do it, and I still did it. And I relied on my, let's say, for example, trainers, right? How awesome they are, right? These are my mentors. These are great, awesome people, world-class mentors who train millions and millions and millions of people around the world, have helped made billions of dollars. They're just amazing people, right? So you would think that they have their things together, their stuff together. They know how to, they're going to follow through with their word. They're going to be on time. Honestly, I'm going to be straight up, you guys. That's never happened, right? We've always been late for everything. On our webinars, for example, we're always last minute, you guys. Like, I always message, hey, the webinar's 2 months away. We got to get ready. Make sure you send me the slides, send me the copy, etc. Hey, it's a month away. Get ready. The webinar's coming up. We need the copy. We need all this. The webinar's 2 weeks away. All right. We really need the copy. Can you please send it to us? And then, yeah, there's only been one person who has been early. Okay. And, yeah, so all I'm saying, that's from just webinars. Now, if they can't really keep their word and stay on time, I really don't want to pretend and hope and rely my entire business on employees to do the same and other people to do the same. The fact is, life gets in the way. The world doesn't revolve around me or my business. All right, it's not. So everyone has their own worlds that they have to take care of, right? Their own family, their own things that they got to do. And honestly, and sometimes they're never going to tell you. They're never going to tell you those intimate things. They're not going to tell you if they're getting a divorce or if they're, they're about to get they're late on their bills or something, or they're not going to tell you the personal things that are going on that are preventing them from moving forward. So honestly, a lot of times it's a complete mystery to me, and it's just a fact. So I've kind of accepted it that, I can't really rely on that, on deadlines for people, from employees and partners. As sad as that is, it's just, anyway, that's just my experience, you guys. All right, next. I'm going to see if I can fit them all on here. How many do I have left on this? I don't think that's going to work. So what I'm going to do is start a new one. Hold on a sec. I'm clear this all up. All right, so I'm going to start a new one here. Where was I? Okay, here it is. All right, now it's more about the just kind of having some backups, some backup plans. So this was another mistake, you guys, and this one has probably been the most costly, one of the most costly, definitely. Only having 1 or 2 employees or contractors per task or position. So, 1 salesperson, 1 technical person, CTO, 1 like 1 or 2 developers, 1 or 2 marketers, right? Facebook marketers, 1 or 2 YouTube marketers, etc. And so what I did, I thought, hey, that's great. I have a team. I got my team, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the last bullet, depending on them to follow through. Again, life gets in the way. Whatever the heck, I don't even know. It's a big mystery for me. But it just, sometimes it just doesn't work out, And so what happens when you only have 1 or 2 people? Can you guess? What if you have a project and then it requires, even just 1 person, right? It requires 1 person to do something. And that person the only 1 person you have on that team that's ready to go, they are busy working on another project. They're a freelancer. They have other projects. They can't work for you. Or let's say it requires 2 people and you only have 1. You're stuck scrambling for looking on, everywhere you can, asking friends and family, everyone. You're scavenging, looking for that, extra spot to fill up. Oh man, at the last minute too. That sucks. Don't ever do that. All right. So my suggestion is always have multiple employees or contractors slash freelancers, whatever you want to call it, like ready to go, multiple ones, like as honestly unlimited, right? Like try to come up with 10 and then keep building 20, 30, 50. Try to get as many as possible just lined up, ready to go. So if one doesn't work, oh well, I can go to the next one. That doesn't work, all right, I can go to the next one. So that's the lesson, and that's my highest recommendation for this. Just have a whole bunch of employees and constantly be looking out for new employees. Okay, I call them employees, team members, whatever you want to call them. It's the same thing, so again, always be on the lookout for more, to expand more and more, and just tell them, hey, I'm gonna have you on my list, just in case, I'll be ready. All right. That's how I do it. All right. As an agency, that's kind of the way I found that works the best. So similarly, only having one membership site, right? And this goes for, I guess membership site is like the main thing. It could even go for, let's say, like if you're using a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or a Meetup group, if you're only using one source, like Meetup only and nothing else, or just LinkedIn alone and nothing else, you have a high risk of losing it all, So anyway, as far as the membership site, we were relying on something called Smart Member, right? And Smart Member was amazing. It was freaking amazing, you guys. At the time of making this, about in the beginning of this year, it was great. It was amazing before then. But then after a few months of, from the beginning of the year till now, it started to just take a downturn, and no one even knew what was going on. There were just little bugs here and there, and, no one really knew why. But then the creator of it, his name is Chris Record. He came out with a video explaining what happened and some, things he was going through his personal life, things that affected the company, and it just lost everything. And so little by little, the whole entire my membership site and everyone else who uses Smart Member, their pictures started to disappear, their content started to disappear. I had a huge, horrible situation that happened to me. I sent out an email. Some of you might have even gotten this email from the 4th of July promoting something, a sale. And come to think of that was only like a few weeks ago. I can't believe it. And so what really, it really hurt my business so much. So what happens is I sent out one email from a Smart Member, and some kind of glitch happened. It sent out like 50 emails, that same email 50 times in the span of like a couple hours. And it was a nightmare dealing with people complaining, unsubscribing, harassing me, like telling me all kinds of like bad things. And I had to quickly, on my own, I didn't have time to, let people like my team know. I just went straight in and disconnected everything, turned the whole thing off, shut it all down. And it costed me a lot of money with SendGrid, because I was using SendGrid. Oh man, it was a nightmare, and it ruined my brand too. It ruined a lot of stuff. So what happened? Eventually, I ended up with half of my subscribers. You guys, we had 7,100 members, and we went down to 3,500 members. Right after that, half of them just quit. They just unsubscribed. They reported spam or whatever else. So yeah, that happened. And anyway. And of course, all our content is gone. 90% of the content on there is gone. I had to shut the whole thing down. And so my lesson, have a backup, you guys. Have a backup membership site. Backup big time, all right? So, and for example, if you're going to use Smart Member, I'm going to keep Smart Member up. It's there because now Chris Record claims that he's going to be rebuilding it. We'll see what happens. It's going to take a few months, but I'm not relying on that at all. All right. So I moved everything to Product Dino, moving it currently, still in the works, making it upgraded, making it super awesome. Those of you watching this recording are probably watching it there. And then also I'm gonna build it on another platform that we have. I can't remember what it's called, something like Easy Member, whatever it is. And then I'm also gonna build it on WordPress. So I'm gonna have 3 different things, right? Product Dino, whatever this other one is called, and WordPress. All right. So that if one goes down, I can just quickly replace it. We don't have to wait. And by the way, all this time, I forgot to mention, this is the most costly thing, is we were making pretty good money, all right, you guys, with our membership site. It was consistent. It was always marketing our software, marketing our courses and programs. We were making pretty good money consistently without me doing anything, just having the recordings in there and just, you know, letting everyone run it, you know, from the back end. And so that all of that was lost in a second, you know, in a day. So haven't been making any money from the membership site since then. That sucks. Let's see, what else here? Not backing up and securing with SSL all of my sites, all right? Something happened with my personal blog, omarbriones.com. It got hacked, malware, all kinds of stuff, and it affected a lot of my other sites. And because I didn't have SSL, and because I was not really monitoring it much, so always have security on your sites, you guys. Do whatever you can to get SSL, all right? Ask your hosting provider. If you work with us, if we host it for you on our dedicated server, we can set you up with SSL for free as a bonus, I mean. And not backing it up. Always have a backup too. We back it up several ways. We back it up sending an email to us, the whole entire thing. And then also it backs up to Amazon Web Services, which is another service that you get as a bonus if you work with us, if we host your sites for you. Anyway, let me see here. Next thing is not setting up proper tracking on all my sites. All right. I just got lazy. We all got lazy, my team. I didn't want to have to train them on how to do it. And I'm actually certified by Google Analytics. I know how to use Google Analytics pretty well. It's been a while though. I might have to refresh my memory, but I could have easily done this and I just didn't. And now I have about maybe 200 to 300 pages on my website, on just one website, just Infopreneur Agency, that has no, like, very little tracking, right? Very weird, very limited tracking. And then now we're doing a membership site. Now we're setting up proper tracking. So, you know, that's good. It just takes a lot of work, but in the long run, it's totally worth it. If you really want to build a business that's going to last for 10, 20, 50, 100 years, you know, last longer than you live, it's worth the extra work in the beginning to set it up, and use tracking from a reliable source like Google. All right. Google is going to stay around forever. I think they're going to end up ruling the world. Who knows? But it's either Google or a Tesla. But anyway, maybe both. Just saying, you know, use a reliable source for your tracking, right? And it's free, by the way. Next, relying on shared hosting platforms for all of my sites. Whenever I told you, omarbriones.com got hacked, and malware affected all of my sites and my client sites, which I was hosting on a shared hosting platform. So not a good idea, okay? If you're hosting clients' sites on your own shared hosting, you're making a really big risk. You better disclaim it to your client. Let them know, hey, you know, we're on a shared server. If something happens to one site, it's going to happen to the others. If we get shut down, all of our sites get shut down. You run that risk. So let them know that ahead of time, right? If you're doing that. So always, now we have a dedicated server, and we have separate like little sections in the server. Like I don't want to explain that, but they're separate. They're not going to affect each other. So always, you know, I don't rely on shared hosting anymore. It's such a ripoff, and it's just so not worth it, you know. Let me see, what else? Using SMTP on my website domain. That was a mistake because SMTP, I thought, you know, it was going to build my domain reputation. That was the whole idea, and save some money on autoresponders like Aweber. And so I was using my SMTP on my main domain, okay, infopreneuragency.com. what that did was, because of that thing that happened with SendGrid, it actually, and other things that I used too, that I've experimented with, all of it combined together, it kind of just, it built like it affected my, what's called domain reputation, sending IP reputation, and it ruined the domain. It kind of got, it didn't get blacklisted, but it got affected, right? And I was so close to getting blacklisted, honestly, when that event happened. And so after that, I was like, you know what, screw this completely. I'm just going to use Aweber, and that's it, at least for now, until there's a better solution. There may be, you know, coming up in a webinar coming soon. We'll see. But yeah, until then, I'm not going to even bother. So those are the main mistakes about running my business, and I'm going to share some more now. And these other are going to be pretty quick. Next section is giving up. All right. Get ready for this, you guys. You're not gonna think of me any the different. You're not gonna think of me the same way when you see this. All right. Look. All right. So I shut down my 7K per month SEO websites after the Google Panda and Penguin updates. This was in 2012, I believe, or 2013. I believe that is when it was. Maybe 2011. But I was making pretty good money, and it was doubling like almost every month. Like every month and a half, it would double my income, like instantly, like without even me doing anything. It was all running by itself. Those were the days, you guys. Previous of what's called Google Panda and Penguin, SEO was extremely easy, all right? And you can just hack Google completely. You can just do all kinds of stuff, you know, send backlinks, index your pages. That was pretty much all it took. And using the right keywords, you would be on that front page. And just advertising with Adsense, right? I was using Adsense. What happened is after Google Penguin and Panda happened, they made some upgrades, algorithm updates, and it just, my income went from 7K to 0 because my AdSense account got shut down, and that was really, really bad. Now I can't even run AdSense on my YouTube videos. That sucks, you guys. Seriously, you know. And so what happened is, you know, a lot of people were affected by this, by the way. Penguin and Panda, yeah, they changed the way the sites are ranked and the rules. So if you were trying to manipulate the system when these updates happened, or if you're sending backlinks, or, you know, from just certain types of pages, or doing things on your page that just seemed like you were trying to manipulate the system, they would put you in what's called a sandbox, or a jail, I think it is. Just they don't show you anymore on the front page, anywhere on the front 2 or 3 pages at all. And they shut down your AdSense account, apparently. I mean, I still don't have any actual answer from them about why they did that. I just assume it happened because of the updates. So anyway, later that year, after I got so depressed, I was like, you know what, whatever, dude. Google is gonna be, you know, like that. Screw them. I'm gonna find another way. I try to find other ways, by the way. I try to use other ads, other things, banner ads, all these other ways to monetize it. It just wasn't getting enough traffic, and it just wasn't worth it. And so I shut it down. And there were about 30 sites in total. And I found out later that year that there was a way to fix them and, you know, rebuild them to be even better than they were before. And that really kind of bummed me out, because I shut them down. I literally just let them expire and didn't even like bother to do anything with them. So that was a big waste. I could have, you know, if I didn't quit or give up on these and just kind of let it ride, just kind of see what happens, I would be a lot more wealthier today for sure. So just FYI, this is my lesson. This is my tip, you guys. My advice is, if something happens to your site or whatever it is, something happens to your business from some kind of legal update, some kind of thing, some kind of event that changes everything, just don't give up, right? Just let it, like, take a break away from it. Just don't let it shut down. All right. Don't let it expire. Keep it and just see what happens. All right. Because there would probably be a lot of other people who were affected by it, and there may be some kind of solution that comes out soon, or soon enough, that helps you, resolve that issue. The other thing, very similar situation. This, it hurts so much. Oh my God. All right. Shutting down my Golden Goose. This is my trading account. While I was making this money here, I was also making other money from other places, client coaching and stuff like that. And I started to learn, what do I do with my money? I want to be an investor. I want to make this money work for me. Business, I know really well, but let's make this, grow without me even having to work. So I started looking into investing. I started trading in Forex, and I got really into it. I made pretty damn good returns. I'm not even gonna, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I made really great returns. However, there was an event that happened, and just like what happened with Google, Panda, and Penguin, there was some kind of event in the economy. I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't really looking at the news at all, actually. My strategy was just looking at the charts and using technical analysis and just making money. That was it. It was just money and not doing anything. So, but I disregarded the news, and there was some kind of event that triggered a big, huge, I think it was trying to go, I can't remember if I was trying to go up or down. But anyway, it went the opposite way. And I was confident, it's going to go back up, or it's going to go back down. It's going to make it. And it just kept, I kept losing and losing and losing. And I was like so frustrated. I lost. I just kept betting more, or I call it betting, whatever. I put more and more into this trade, and I lost most of my capital, a lot of capital, and ended up with about like $650 or something that I left. And I could have just left it in there and just like waited and see what happens. But I got depressed, and I just got it out. I said, screw this. I'm never going to do this. I'm going to just invest in business, and that's it. So I took all that money out. I had zero in there. And so that's called killing the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden eggs. Never cook the goose and never eat the goose and never cook the eggs. All right. Your goose, it's going to keep laying those eggs. Just let it, have faith, and in the system, you're going to lose and you're going to win sometimes. As long as you win more than you lose, and you stay with your system, you don't lose, more than you're winning, you'll be okay. And anyway, I didn't do that. I just got out, and I was like, screw this. So that was in like 2013 or 14, and I stopped for the last 4 years. But now I'm actually going back in, so I'm gonna make some money there. So anyway, the same thing goes with this. The same lesson is just don't give up, you guys. If there's something that happens like that really destroys your business, like the economic crash or whatever else it is, some kind of update, some news update. Another example I didn't even give up, but I almost gave up, was my our Facebook apps. They just stopped working because of the scandal that was happening with Mark Zuckerberg. Everyone who has a Facebook app at that time was not able to use their app. So we had to wait. And then we had to innovate, change our code and all this stuff. We had to really, really push hard to get it approved. It really takes a lot of work now to get your app approved, by the way. Anyway, we didn't give up. It was really challenging, like super challenging, you guys. Like, as in blood and sweat and tears, like that kind of challenge, right? But we got through it, and now our apps are back on, and I didn't lose my money, right? We're not losing that income stream, all right? Because we didn't give up. That's the lesson. So we have one more section here. Let me just check how many there is. All right, so I want to give you guys a heads up that I know we're at the top of the hour at this point. what I hope you guys have a few more minutes. I would say maybe like 25 more minutes. Because are you guys getting a lot out of this? Put something in the chat box. Let me get some feedback. Let's see. While you're doing that, I'm gonna drink some water. Feedback, anyone? Put it in the chat box. All right. All right. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna write down losing money. This is the next section, you guys. So hope you guys are taking lots of notes, by the way, because this, I mean, this is like really some stuff that is, you know, I know it's going to change your life. So anyway, losing money, undervaluing my products and services. I'm pretty much, I still am a suffering addict at this. Here's the truth, you guys. I get products and services for like fairly decent price, right? I always get the white label. I always get the reseller option. I always get the agency option. It costs several $100s sometimes to inventing my own and hiring my own developer to create them. It can cost me thousands of dollars. But I always end up getting like really great apps and like products and services to deliver to you. And I just can't help, I don't know what it is. It's something in my DNA or something that I can't help but give you guys those savings. I can't help but pass on the savings and hook you guys up. But the problem is, you know, I barely break even, or I don't make money at all, and or I even lose money by doing that. And on top of that, what happens is you end up not really appreciating the app or the product service like as much as you should. You don't use it as much, all right? And so it's been really challenging, but in the last month or two, I've really made this realization. This was actually during this 4th of July sale, that I'm not gonna do that anymore. And I'm gonna start charging monthly subscriptions and yearly subscriptions for everything that we offer, including our membership site, all the things in there. Those of you who are watching this in the membership recording, you're watching the recording, you guys see, you know, all our apps are at that price. And the lifetime offers are in the hundreds. So either $197, $297, $397, or $997, etc. So it's no longer, you know, 27 bucks one time, or, you know, 37 one time. And it's tough to do that. But what I am going to do is, because I do love doing this, you know, just FYI, I'm letting you guys in on a little secret. Those of you who are on here live would know about this before the people watching the recording. Is on the membership, we're going to offer a premium service where you are going to pay monthly or yearly, or there will be a lifetime option, but it's going to be in the thousands, okay? The membership is going to be amazing, all right? It's going to be really, really powerful. You're going to get so much value from it. I'm really excited about this. And anyway, with your subscription, you will also get access to all of these discounts. So you will still be able to get these apps, and some of them will be included as a bonus for you to just have access to. And some of them, all the others, and also everything else we sell, you'll always get a discount, a very, very healthy discount, right? So I can still offer discounts, knowing that I'm still, that you're still going to be in a subscription service, and it's still, you know, the subscription plan is not going to be inexpensive at all. It's going to be very affordable, just FYI. And it just gives me more assurance that you know, we will be able to fund our projects. We will continue to be able to hire new, you know, employees and partners, and, you know, expand, you know, promoting it, marketing, etc., and just delivering the best value for you guys. Otherwise, if I just do that without charging any kind of subscriptions to that, we don't make any money and we lose money. We can't provide the best services to you. So The reason I'm bringing this up, you guys, this is, remember, I'm not trying to sell you guys, just FYI. The reason is, remember, I'm telling you this from experience as a someone who went through a challenge, and I don't want you to go through that yourself. I want you to make passive income, right? I want you to charge monthly and yearly subscriptions, right? No matter what you're doing, find a way to make something passive. And if you really can't help yourself but undervalue things, giving discounts, make that part of the subscription, right? That's why I'm bringing this up, so you guys get that. All right. Here's another mistake. I'm losing money. Not opening a bank account on day one, a business bank account. All right. I didn't really notice, but if you have a business bank account, depending on what bank you use, you're building credit. You're building kind of like credibility. And it's going to be used, you can use that as leverage for later on, a year or maybe 2 years from now, from that point, you can actually open a credit card and get kind of instant approval. You don't even have, your business has its own credit line. It's not affected by your credit. So what we did wrong is we didn't open a bank account. We still do not have, to this day, a business bank account, but I'm in the process of opening one right now. And what that's going to do is going to establish my on the books, in the bank, credibility. So it's like building the credit, right? And a year from then, I can apply for a credit card with the business, and it's real easy, $5,000 minimum, very easily. I could also apply for loans or whatever else, but they won't do that if you don't have a business bank account with a track record of income in there. So lesson learned, they don't accept PayPal as a source of proof or whatever. All right. Next, maxing out my personal credit cards to fund my business and education. This happened at the same time when I was kind of like quitting the, well, actually there's something else that I should say, but it's going to take too long to give you the backstory. I'll just say this, long story short, I stopped working for a certain company in 2015 or something like that. They were sending me tons of clients. I had about maybe 500 clients from just them alone. And I did really well. I loved it. I love the company. They were great. I love the owner. All right. And some things happened. They just went a different direction. They started to do some things that were fishy to me, kind of seemed kind of like a scam. And I just got out. And luckily I got out before they got shut down by the FTC or SEC. I never know. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so long story short, and when that happened, I lost a lot of my clients. That was like in my transition where I was like, all right, I don't have an investment account. I don't have my SEO sites. That's done for. I'm barely, I don't have this coaching business anymore with these guys that were awesome at really a lot of stuff, but then they stopped being awesome. And that was it. I mean, that was me. Like, I was there in a limbo. It was like 2015. And so I was thinking, what do I do? And I decided to, use the money that I got from that $650 from the trading account and everything else I had left. I had like maybe like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, can't remember, left in my accounts, just money, saved, for something. And I decided, I'm going to invest in this seminar that cost it was total like $12,000. I got like a special deal because I worked with them. And it was still a great thing. I'll never regret that. All right. That alone was a great idea. I'm so glad I did that. It's called Making the Stage and Mission Impossible, right? They certify you in NLP, coaching, and speaking on stage. Really amazing stuff, right? So I'll never regret that. So I went there, but I used all my credit. I spent everything, all my cash, all my savings, all my credit cards, and that was that. And I just maxed it out. I just believed, after this, I can get certified and I can start getting clients, paying for this again. I can do this and that. I did get to that point, but it wasn't worth it for me. It wasn't fulfilling. So I probably made, my money back from that before starting Infopreneur agency. And and then I started, anyway, at that point, all I'm saying is it messed up my credit, and I had to rebuild my credit, and then I messed it up again because of the mistakes that I've been sharing with you. And some of the ones I'm going to share with you soon, they've all kind of become really expensive, right? And I had to, I maxed out my credit cards again, and it was just me. Like I said, I'm the only business owner, so I pay for everything myself. It's all 100% self-funded. I don't have any loans or anything like that. So that's where I've been pretty recently, and I'm working on getting that out of the way now. So thank God I'm able to pay that off. Anyway, it's a big mistake, you guys. Don't do that, all right? Just don't max out your credit cards. Just don't do that, Find another way to fund it. It messes up your credit. Next thing, running solo ad campaigns. They're just low quality leads and high spam complaint. All right, so I ran some solo ads. Solo ads are when you pay for an email marketer to promote your product to them, or promote your subscription form, your lead page, to their list for a fee. It can be a one-time fee, pay per lead, pay per click, or even a percentage if they're willing to do that, if you know them really well. So what happened is we spent a lot on that, and we generated a lot of leads, so we didn't stop. We just kept getting them in, and we made some of our money back. But we started to realize that really they're just very low quality. And here's the thing about solo ads, you guys. This is what I realized, right? After spending lots and lots of money on this, right? Tens of thousands, okay? The people who actually get on your list from solo ads, they are from, they're coming from someone promoting you as, kind of like you call it an affiliate, but not really. They're a solo ad provider, okay? Now, just think of that for a second now. These people, they're constantly getting solo ads from probably not just that one person, but another source, day after day, minute after minute, constantly. They're just bombarded by ads, and they click on emails, they click on links, they subscribe to things, they never check the thank you email. That's just their life. I don't even know. I pray for them. I hope they get out of that. I hope they can, see past the light, but yeah, it's just a reality, These people coming from solo ads, they're just going to get solo ads, and they're going to respond well to solo ads, but they might not really respond well to webinar invitations or sales calls, or anything else you can make money from. Selling products, it's always really got to be something really free or super cheap. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, we built it up to about 64,000 subscribers, and honestly, from there I deleted a lot of them. They're going down to about like 12,000, and then from 12,000 we even got that down to like 6,000. So literally 10% of the people that we generated, the leads, we only kept about 10% of them. And then of course from there I built up some more, added them to a membership site, and then lost half of those. So now we're down to 3,500. So anyway, point is, just run solo ads at your own risk, right? Just know what I just told you. These people are used to getting ads, and that's it. They respond well to freebies, and that's pretty much it from my experience, right? And honestly, I'm a professional marketer. I've spent tens of thousands, but I've also helped spend hundreds of thousands with my clients, okay? Keep that in mind. So I've tested, I've seen who are the best solo ad providers, right? The so-called best. And I've seen the best campaigns. I've learned a lot about that. No matter what, it's still the same results. So keep that in mind. That's my experience, right? Next, spending too much on shiny objects and unnecessary overhead. All right, yeah, and I still do this. I'm guilty. I I wish I wouldn't. I wish I can be more disciplined about this. And I'm really working on it. Honestly, I've been cutting down my costs. So unnecessary overhead and shiny objects. Let's start with overhead. That would be like, your like gadgets, like computers, technology, mics. But this is a great investment, you guys. This is a good investment. Room, the rent, whatever, employees as well, definitely. So I started paying, when I first started, by the way, this is like FYI, a lot of people do this. You would probably start just kind of bartering things and trading services. To me, it just didn't work out. It kind of goes back to the other mistake by relying on people and depending on them to follow through. It just doesn't work out. My experience is probably even more so with the trading services. And then, and also I'm guilty of that too, right? I have fallen behind on promises that I made trading, services. Anyway, the other thing we did is we upgraded from going to trading to, I would say the next upgrade was $2, $2 to $3 per hour, hiring people in the Philippines. And then we went to like $5 an hour to those same people. We kind of gave them a promotion. To them, that's a decent living, right? It was all right. It was really hard to work with them. Long story short, anyway, then we upgraded to $15 an hour. I started hiring people in person, that I would be there in the room working in the office together. This assistant that I have, who was amazing, really great, really smart, had a master's degree. She's like a straight up scientist. So she was helping us with the tracking and setting campaigns up and stuff. And I paid too much. $15 an hour is decent, for a college, for someone just getting out of college. But it was, for us, a little like we ended up spending too much, so we couldn't manage it. So I had to let her go, and that was really sad, because our costs, we couldn't keep up, and the rent, we had an office. I have my own house, by the way, in Albany, New York, and I made the living room and the dining room the office, and then my rooms, there was like 3 bedrooms. I made one of my room like a workout room, and I was pretty much living there. It was pretty awesome, but I still had to pay bills and stuff like that, and I was losing money because I wasn't making money. I could have rented that place out for at least $800 easily, or $1,000, $1,200. That was like the average. I could have made that money passive income and paid someone for managing the house. That would have been easy, right? But I didn't do that. Instead, I just kept the place and had all these rooms empty, nothing in there, just kind of sitting on overhead, not doing anything with it. So anyway, and then shiny objects. I buy software all the time, and these things that they seem so amazing, I just like, all right, fine, I'm gonna get it. And I usually, honestly, it takes me a while to actually go in and start to use it. Anyway, so lesson, just don't do it, all right? Just limit yourself. Try to hold yourself back. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Is this really going to be necessary? Absolutely necessary, all right? Imagine if your family's life depended on it, okay? I don't have I'm not, married or have kids, but if you do, think of it that way. If your family depended on it, is this worth it, right? Maybe that is the case. All right, next, paying full price on negotiable products and services. I want to let you read that for a sec. I heard this from some guy. His name is Chris Du, and he's a branding expert. He might be one of our trainers. I don't know. I mean, he's not really much of a trainer. He's more of an actual doer. But anyway, he said, paying full price, FOOL, is is just like being a fool. You don't need to do that. The truth is, almost like pretty much 99% of the products and services out there are negotiable, right? So I paid full price for things just because, I was like, I'm gonna pay your price. That's it. That's your price. Here you go, you know, with no questions asked, you know. But I ended up losing money because I found there are other ways to get those deals. And this was way back, right? So I've been a negotiator for several years now. It's been really paying off, saving me tons of money and all that. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is something I learned from Paz Simpson. All right, this is really amazing, right? Paz, he literally said to me and my business partner, he was like, I never pay for, I don't pay, he basically said, I don't pay for anything. And I was like, man, what is he talking about? What is this guy? He's like, he's nuts. And he explained when this is like, you guys take this to heart, you guys understand this, but don't take advantage of it, okay? Because I don't want you to take advantage. If you push too hard, you can literally, it can go the wrong way, okay? Just keep this in mind, all right? Okay, I'm kind of nervous about saying this because it's really that much of a secret, all right? But I'm gonna get it out. So when somebody looks at you as a prospect, a salesperson looks at you as a prospect, you're gonna buy this product that they're gonna sell you, okay? They see you as a potential customer, all right? They have this, hold on, let me just draw this out. So this is you, and what they see is this. They see money on your head, right? They see money in your eyes. When they're talking to you, they're thinking, all right, so I'm gonna sell them this, I'm gonna whatever else, right? This costs this much, this is how you get it, blah, blah, blah. But it's a little secret, you guys. Now, once they consider you a customer, that's how they see you. But if you change the way they see you and you do not present yourself as a customer, instead, you, let me see here, how can I draw this? You present yourself as a partner, okay? As, I'm gonna draw another S. I try to do my best. That's the Superman symbol. They start to see you as their hero, okay? So they're not seeing the dollar signs. They're seeing, oh, okay, this person can actually help me, all right? How you do that? You first build a relationship with them, you know, get to know them, and always, 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 this is the big secret, and this has been shared by many people, including, you know, the very most successful in the world. Come from service. Offer your service to them. How can I help you? Is there anything I can do to support you? All right. I always say that. Let me know how I can support you, and truly, authentically mean it. Okay. Then, you know, really find out what do you need? Do you need clients? Do you want? Can I send you some clients? Can I send you some money? Can I send you some leads? Can I help you set up your website? Can I help you run your events? All right, that's actually one of the ways I got into this whole industry, just helping run events for these big speakers, right? Can I help you market your business? Blah, blah, blah. And really unconditionally, okay? Offer your support unconditionally. That way, they're gonna see you as Superman. They're gonna see you as their hero, okay? And someone who can provide service to them, all right? So it's the opposite. They're thinking now, oh, you can send me these things? All right, let's see how I can get these. Would you be willing to trade? Can I give you my course for that? Or can I, you know, can I pay you for this? Whatever. Point is, you reverse it completely. They don't no longer look at you as a customer or a prospect or a lead. They look at you as a partner and their hero, someone who's going to serve them, okay? Think about that. Let that sink in. Honestly, try to do that. Just give it a shot, all right? Get some practice, do that. Start negotiating, start working with people, people you look up to. If there's something you can't afford, for example, ask if there's some kind of way, other keyword, I'm gonna write this down. Alternate. I don't even know if that's how it is, but alternative compensation. I think that's what it's called. So ask them, is there some kind of alternative compensation? All right, I'm going to delete that. So make sure you write that down. That's a good keyword to have. All right. Huge, you guys, huge. And Pat Simpson, he's a part of some programs that cost tens of thousands of dollars, by the way. And he doesn't pay a dime. Gets away with it. So next, settling for mass mediocrity instead of minimal masters. That's a little soundbite I came up with. Brand, for example, branding, web design, development, and marketing team, etc. So what I mean by that is, I settled for, not really the best of the best. I settled for mediocrity and just getting tons of people. I partnered with a company that had like 750 developers and programmers and designers, and they were willing to do it for very cheap work. Like I'm talking like $5 an hour, okay? And I was like, yeah, why not, And then they just it was just so hard, like to work with them, so bad. It just the work was not really great, And so instead now I only work with the best. I always seek the best, and I constantly continue to network and ask for referrals from other people. Like I said in the other slide, or the other bullet, I'm constantly building more backups, more people lined up for ready to go. And they got to be great. They got to be awesome, superstars, right? So that's my advice to you as well. And if you need that, we've got your back. Let us know. It takes a lot of work to find these people, by the way. Next, not paying taxes on time. Now these are a little more personal things. It's a mistake. It's true. Actually I talked to the IRS. I called them and I asked them, can you check what's going on with my taxes and how much I owe and all that? Because I haven't paid on time, they develop fees after fees after fees, and the interest upon interest upon interest, and it just built up. And look what I got. I got like 4 letters in the mail from the IRS. It's horrible. So, but it's okay. I'm negotiating with them. I'm working it out, and it feels good. All right. Instead of avoiding it, I've been avoiding it, and I'm like, now my business is really getting up. I gotta figure out what's going on. I gotta get this straight before I get audited. So anyway, that's huge. And not paying on time. That's the thing, is if you pay on time, or just file on time, even if you don't owe anything, just file, send it in, you won't have any fees. And anyway, it really sucks. So next, this is the last bullet I have here, then we'll get to the questions. It is incorporating in California. When we first got started, I got some consulting from someone. I'm not going to say who it is. I really respect their opinion, and I still respect their success. I really honor their accomplishments. They're very successful. But this person really, really strongly recommended that I incorporate in California, simply because I'm in California right now. This is where I grew up, and this is where I have this is where I live most of the time. But honestly, I found out later, and this was also from Pat Simpson, that no, I don't need to do that. I don't even need to live in the state I'm incorporated in. And California is so expensive for businesses. California and New York, both places that I live. I have 2 houses, in 2 places. It's so expensive. It's not worth it. We just made a big mistake, and I'm still working out the deals with them to have to close that corporation down so I can keep the other one that I have now in Utah, which is very awesome, you guys. Utah, check it out. Have a place there if you want to incorporate. Utah, it was my recommendation. Check with your attorneys, etc. But because we're an online business, we have business all over the world. We can be anywhere. So Utah worked out well. All I needed was a physical address, set that up. It's $100 a year. It's like it's a suite. It's an actual physical address. It's not a PO box. And I can check my mail online. I don't even have to be there in person to check my mail. I can get it forwarded anywhere I want, totally all part of the membership. So that's that. Utah's just very cheap. That's why. And they're so nice as well. When you call them on the phone, they actually answer and they're nice. They don't make you wait for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Anyway, so that's it, you guys. These are my mistakes. I'm so glad I got them out. Now, I'm going to clear this board and we're going to get back to the questions. Hold on a sec. I got to remember how to stop this. I always forget. Okay. Questions. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This has been very intimate for me, very personal. Shared a lot of things that I've never shared with anyone. Glad you guys got a lot out of this. So let's get to these questions now. If you want to unmute yourself, you can do that. Otherwise, I'll just answer them. You should be able to unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm going to look at these here. Tim, ask me about a webinar that I have been on nearly every week. Wait, let me see. Okay. So Tim says, ask me about a webinar that I have been on nearly every week, why it keeps everyone on for 2 to 3 hours. It is not mine. I paid for it. Tim, can I unmute you, please? And can we have a dialogue about this? I'm not really clear on the question. I've unmuted you. Tim, can you say something?
Hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. It's very low for some reason.
How about now?
There you go, yes. Much better.
Okay. I had to eat the microphone.
Okay. Yeah, so Tim, what was that little comment you said there?
Well, one of the things I've experienced over the years, I've been dabbling in online marketing for years. I've paid probably out $50,000 over the years for training. And there's one training that I'm taking part in right now where the person does their webinar completely live. And if you're having problems with some part of it, he takes over control of your screen and fixes it right there live and tells you why he did it and how he did it.
Okay. Cool.
And it's I already knew most of the things that we're doing, but it's the little gold nuggets that I'm finding while I'm watching him make these changes that has helped me move forward.
Nice. That's super cool. I like that. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right. Let me see. All right, cool. So I'm going to check on the next stuff. Kenneth has something, just found a chat box. Let me just check. All right, good. All right. Kenneth, go ahead and unmute yourself. I see your question. It might take some dialogue if you want to do that. Actually, I don't know if you can. I see that you're not even connected with audio yet. But I'll answer the question here. So I'm not a lawyer, full disclaimer, you guys. I've just done a lot of research, asked a lot of people. And so he's asking, how about Nevada? Is Utah better? Utah better? Why? And this, I don't remember what it's called. There was a new regulation that came out in Nevada. It used to be really cool. It used to be really great for companies. And that was the go-to for everyone. But there was a new law that passed when I was getting incorporated, I think like 2 years ago or something like that. That says that just changed everything for the people in Nevada. So I can't remember exactly what it was, to be honest, but it's no longer the go-to. If you look up, if you Google Nevada business law or business incorporating law or new law, something like that, you might find it. It's pretty unfortunate, and there's a lot of articles about how they're screwing up. They shouldn't do that, and people are upset, and they're gonna scare away a lot of companies, etc. Anyway, but yeah, Utah, it just seems to us, it was like the next best thing after Nevada. And after that thing that happened in Nevada, we just went with Utah. And because it's very cheap, it's like 83 bucks or something. No, 70 bucks one time to incorporate. And then I think we're paying like 30 bucks, 20 bucks, I think, every year. That's it. $20 a year to renew it. And the tax is very, very nice. It's very low. That's basically, that's like the most of my knowledge. Again, I'm not an expert at this. It's just much better than California. I can tell you that. All right, cool. So anything else, you guys? Any other questions before we wrap it up? Thanks again for being here. I really appreciate you guys listening. It's been really challenging for me to get this out, and it feels a lot better to get it out. And so this recording will be in the members area when it's out. And with that said, thanks for watching. If there's anything we can do to ever support you, don't ever hesitate to ask. You know, we've got your back 100%. And oh, Kenneth is asking, I'll sneak this question in before we wrap it up. So I don't live in Utah. That is correct. I do not live there, but I have a house. A physical address there. It's through something called iPostal. Okay. Is it iPostal or One Postal? I can't remember. It's either ipostal1.com or onepostal.com with the number 1. You can have a physical address in Utah and not have to live there. You can actually check your mail online and get it forwarded to you, forwarded anywhere. You can do a lot of really cool things. It's really awesome. So anyway, just want to throw that out there. All right. And just a heads up about this one thing I do know about Utah as well is that whenever you have a client who's in Utah or a customer in Utah, you have to charge them, I think, 5% tax. So you have to charge them a tax. Everyone else is fine. If you're selling to outside of the state, it doesn't matter. That's just from my perspective, my best memory. Again, check with your CPA and all that. All right, you guys. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your day. Really appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more awesome webinars. And let me know if there's anything we can do for you. All right. Have an awesome one. Peace.